In this video, I'm going to give you my full price prediction for Link in 2023, plus this upcoming bull run, and even this short term how you can be trading Link. So stay tuned until the end of the video, smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, and tap that notification bell. Check out this video description for my trading masterclass. It's currently 50% off, and sign up with the top global crypto exchange with a massive sign up bonus. So the absolute first thing that I like to do is start on a longer term time frame, such as the weekly chart. We can see this is going back until early or mid 2017. We can see really when we really started to have this massive bull run into this 2021 region, this was sort of the area that price went sideways for in a lot of time. There was actually, if we scroll in and come right into the price, there was a potential resistance, one, two, even resistance up until here before we had that major breakthrough. Even right now acting as a bit of a support to resistance flip, because you can see initially resistance. Where's price actually having support currently right now? We scroll into the price and all this area through here has been acting as support. Doesn't mean that it cannot slightly go below. We can see even in this area we had a small poke below all of these prices, but we quickly reversed. Doesn't mean that even off this rejection right here, could have a rejection off the EMA, come slightly below, even have a bit of a poke. But in this area, it looks like a very major support. So we would expect, if we did come down into this area, another push to the upside. Next thing that we really look at is this exponential moving average. And when we scroll out, we can obviously see that for the long term, the EMA has been pointing downwards, which just means high probability trades to the downside. If you got the EMA pointing to the upside, you only want to be longing. If you got the EMA pointing to the downside, unfortunately, you only want to be shorting, especially when you come into these value areas all through here. We've got a negative slope on the EMA. It's just high probability, not 100%. Like trading, it's not a 100% game, but when you're just trading with the probability, set up with a good risk to reward, plug that into your trader's equation. You know, if you take that trade 100 times, exactly what your overall win rate and overall risk really has to be in the long term. So that's the best thing. So even we can see really at the current price, we're not quite ticking to the upside, but we have began to actually move sideways. Reason being is we're actually using this as a bit of a resistance, this as a bit of a support. So you can see we're basically moving sideways in a sort of channel, which is allowing now this EMA that initially was pointing to the downside here is now basically moving sideways, which if we're coming into this next bull run, which has a high probability, this sideways action is very, very, very good, because if we make some high pushes, it will allow this EMA to begin finally ticking to the upside. And hopefully by this early 2024 region, the EMA, especially on the weekly, has ticked to the upside, and we can just begin longing and expecting this next bull run, which is actually expected by around 2026. Next thing I want to do is come into the daily time frame, because since basically early this year, we were having massive pushes to the upside, nearly up 100%, then probably 50%, down 30%, and even now in the last few days, just in today's video, we're up over 7%, and in just the last basically 1 week, we're up 15%, 16% in the market. So Link, you can see how this daily time frame is obviously just an extension of the weekly, where we're continuously coming into this area, and every time we do, having big rejections to the downside. We're also having big bull trends through here, really, really solid, strong buying, but also really strong selling, really strong buying, and really strong selling. And that's why it's sort of that 50-50 market when we are sort of trending to the sideways direction. But again, in the short term, if we were to scroll in on the daily chart, you can see we're actually beginning to flick to the upside. So we can trade on these shorter term time frame, such as the 4-hourly time frame. What I'd really be looking for is potentially look for the EMA to come like this, come for price to actually touch the EMA, look for another long to the upside. The reason being is rather than buying high, I want to be buying low in this area and then looking to sell high, because obviously the only way you're going to make money in trading is buying low and selling high, or selling high and buying back low, depending on if you're longing or shorting. But overall, really strong day. Just want to be buying near the EMA, especially even in this area. Basically just poking below, you need to have at least a 3% stop. You can see in this area, see 2% was actually here. If you had a 3% stop, you wouldn't have been here, and you can look for close to 6% to the upside. So you can have that 2-to-1 risk to reward, plug that into trader's equation. You know, you're really, really solid. So as much as we can be buying on the daily time frame, I'm not looking to buy on the weekly time frame. Again, like I said, early 2024, when we get this flick up on the EMA, that's the only time I can be longing. Right now, we are sideways coming off this really strong bear market. So overall, just want to be trading with the long-term trend current long-term trend is very, very, very close to bullish, but yeah, again, just not yet. Some of the next areas I want to look at is when we actually get into our position, what are some potential areas that I would actually look to be exiting out of? And I do see a really strong region all the way right through here. It's sort of a strong support to resistance flip. If I actually bring this higher, that's actually a perfect support to resistance flip, where initially using this area as support, using it as support, we broke down, used it as resistance here, broke down, used it as resistance here, and then came down in this area. So we've got consistent areas here using as that support to resistance. So that would definitely be a strong area that I'd be looking to get out of. If we just look at the quick percentage from there, you can see that's around 160%. So that'd be a perfect place to even get 10 to 20%, even 30% of my initial position. So you can really see how we had these three strong support areas, 1, 2, 3, then came up, used it again, had a really strong push to the upside, but you can see the overall EMA was trending to the downside, which gives it that overall high probability of continued downside momentum. And that's what happened all through here. Got a bit of a 3-push wedge, use it as resistance, use it as resistance, and then came back down. So we haven't come back into this area. Even here, use it as a bit of a resistance here. So there's just multiple confluence zones being that support to resistance flip. 160% push to the upside definitely would be a strong region that I'd really be looking to get out of. The next region really would be somewhere very, very close to the old all-time high. Probably right in this area would be most of interest to me, because right here we've got a touch point. We did have a major push to the upside, but then we've also got a touch point and a touch point. So we've got 3 continuous touch points all through this area. As much as definitely this is interesting, I'd be looking to get out another portion of my position right in this box right through here, which is around $36. So if we look at that price difference from there, it's around 450%, close to 500%. So definitely a really strong push. You know, you look to get 20% out here, 20% out here, you've made way more than your initial capital. Now you can just let the rest fly and basically hold the rest of that position. The last thing that we really can do when we look at an extension is use this trend-based Fibonacci extension. We come down, we actually use it from the absolute low, bring it up to the old all-time high, then we bring it down to this current low, which is sitting at around that $4.50 to $5 range. So then we also get some projections to the upside, which again, we're actually expecting, if we are expecting Link to make massive pushes to the upside, breaking the old all-time high, these are definitely some confluence levels that I'd be looking at. Again, 1618, 2618, 3618, and 423 level in the market. So this 1618 level is very, very consistent in the market. When we do get breaks above the old all-time high, we usually always see some type of stall at this level. It's just a trend-based Fibonacci extension number. It's using mathematics to actually use ratios and make extensions from using basically what price has done in the past to expect what it can do in the future, because it's using a ratio of what it's done in the past, which is very, very consistent, because sometimes we don't see a double in price, but we see rather a 1.61. So rather we're getting smaller ratios as we continuously go higher and higher. And you'll see that consistently with Bitcoin. As you saw, you know, we went from $1,000 to $100 to $1,000. That's a 10x gain. And then we went from $1,000 to $60,000, which is a 60x gain. And then, you know, now we're going from 15,000 to potentially 150,000, which is close to, you know, 10x gain. So again, just numbers as they're changing, the ratios change. We're basically getting less percentage bull runs every single bull run in the future. Initially they were thousands and thousands of percent. Now they're basically in the hundreds of percent, which is still obviously massive, but just getting smaller as more capital is coming in, basically because of the market cap needs more capital. It is slightly hard to make these massive projections to the upside, expecting to break above this old all-time high, which is already, you know, 700% away. If we look at the price from this current price, it's 1300% away. Again, if we look at the last bull run for Link, and we look at this low all the way to the high, that was 5,600%. So it definitely does have a potential, you know, 5,600% going into 1,500%. As I talked about before, every single bull run is making higher highs, but it's making less percentage gains as compared to the previous one, because we're using these type of Fibonacci ratios and all these other numbers. So you can see that, you know, as much as we do have the potential to go up somewhat 1,500%, based on the last bull run that went up, you know, 5,000%, it's definitely a smaller number. The market cap is also extremely, extremely important, because when we come over and have a look, this $3.6 billion market cap, if we're saying it's going up to this number here, that's a 15x gain. So we'd need also the market cap to go up 15x. So that's basically like saying ChainLink would be around a $50 billion market cap coin, which definitely has some potential, because when we look at all the cryptocurrencies, you can see Bitcoin right now is a $500 billion market cap, and we're saying that Link would have the potential to go up to a $50 billion market cap. So it definitely has the potential. That's why I'm looking at Link, compare it to the market cap, look at what it's done in the past, look at what it's done in the future, look at the EMAs, a lot to take into account and actually get into crypto and actually get into a long-term position. Smash the like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap that notification bell, check out this video description for my trading masterclass, sign up with the top global crypto exchange, and if you'd like to continue watching YouTube, click the video that's on your screen right now.